Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Throwing someone Scott selections here for Friday, May 12th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a nice winner in hockey with the Hurricanes money line at minus 125 on DraftKings. Wasn't easy. In fact, the game did go to overtime, but Carolina broke through in the extra period as they won the game 3-2. It's a nice winner for us and for the winner here on Friday. And for today's play of the day, going to stay in the NHL, going to look at a matchup between the Panthers and the Maple Leafs, which will be game 5 of that series taking place at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this game, I'm going to take a team total in this one. Going to take Toronto team total under 3.5 goals at minus 105 on DraftKings. Time of recording of 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take Toronto team total under in this game. First reason, going through the actual numbers this postseason, Toronto's been pretty underwhelming at scoring, especially in this series. And you'd assume with Matthews and Tavares and Marner and all these great weapons they have, they'd be able to outscore teams. Really not the case. They've been pretty defensive so far these playoffs, and I do think as a result, this team total feels a little bit too high. But to go through the numbers in this series, the Maple Leafs have been abysmal offensively in the first 4 games of the series, as Toronto has scored less than 3 goals in each of the first 4 games in the series, including the one game they won, which was game 4, which they won 2-1. And even dating back to the end of that Tampa Bay series in the first round, Toronto's offense has been struggling as well because the Maple Leafs have scored less than 3 goals in each of their last 6 games. And once again, 3 goals were fine as long as they don't score 4. But based on the lackluster performances that we've seen regularly from this team offensively, I do think this team total feels a little bit high. Plus, Florida defensively has been very good, not just at preventing pucks from getting into the net, but also preventing shots on net because the Panthers have allowed less than 26 shots on goal in each of the last 2 games. Florida's done a good job of getting into shooting lanes, blocking shots, and really limiting the workload of Bobrovsky by getting in the way of the actual shots so he doesn't have to stop them himself. But I do think with Toronto potentially finishing with around 26 shots or so in this game, that does, I'd say, lean more towards the team total under because there's going to be less shots that Bobrovsky has to deal with and less dangerous chances that Toronto has to actually score goals in this game. But to go through Bobrovsky's actual numbers in this series, he has been amazing and he's been probably the best playoff goaltender so far. And to go through his numbers in this series, he has a 934 save percentage. So he's been lights out. And when you have probably the best goalie left in the playoffs against a team that can't really score right now, I do think that's a good recipe to get a team total under in this game. Plus, Toronto against Florida, not just in the series, but also in the regular season, had a hard time scoring. Toronto has scored less than 3 goals in each of the last 6 meetings. But once again, I understand the argument. Toronto's at home. It's a must-win game. And with them being a big favorite, maybe you pencil in an empty net draw. But the point is, with Toronto having a hard time of even reaching 3 lately, I think a team total of 3.5 at minus 105 to the under is absolutely insane. And I do think based on how low scoring these games have been in the series, the totals feel a little bit off. And I do think as a result, Toronto can still win the game. I know we cashed this in game 7 with the Kraken against the Avalanche, where the team we basically faded won the game anyway, but they still went under their team total. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think there's a decent chance of Toronto winning this game 3-2. Maybe it goes to overtime at 2-2. Maybe you have another 2-1 slugfest. But the point is, I don't exactly see 4 goals being likely, especially with Bobrovsky's current form. I do think as a result, there is some value on the under, and I'm going to take it. Split it once again here for Friday, May 12th is going to be on the Maple Leafs team total under 3.5 goals in game 5 at minus 105 on DraftKings. Bye, everyone.